I've had enough turkey this week, so I decided to make a nice breakfast hash sandwich. I started by removing the sausage from the casing on 2 packs of Midamar's Halal Breakfast links. To do that, you pinch the center and gently squeeze out on one end, then you remove the other end. Once you get a rhythm going, this goes pretty quick. We'll cook that over medium heat and break it up into a ground beef sort of consistency. Cook that until it's browned. This took me about 7 minutes or so for both packages. Once that's all cooked up, we'll remove the sausage with a slotted spoon and place that in a mixing bowl. Now we'll drain the fat from the pan, wipe it with a paper towel, and start cooking a couple packs of Midamar's Halal sandwich-style beef bacon. You may be asking yourself, why are you using sandwich-style bacon in a hash? And the answer is simple. It sounded good. You could also swap this with a regular beef bacon, either works well. All the meat used in this recipe is available at the link in the description, along with a discount for first-time orders. We'll fry that up until it's a little crisp, then we'll pull it off to a paper towel-lined plate. Set those aside for now. It's veggie time! I like to chop the stems off the pepper before I cut the flesh off, but you can't always do that. In these cases, I'll just chop the flesh off first. We'll cut those into little strippies, maybe a 1/4 of an inch thick or so. I like mine really small, but for a thicker hash, you can cut these bigger. The choice is yours. Now we gotta slice up some onions. This is pretty easy too. Cut the onion in half, place a cut down the center, but don't slice all the way through the root. Then rotate it and slice it into thin strips. Throw those in a mixing bowl and set it aside for a moment. In a big old Dutch oven, we'll melt 3 tablespoons of butter, then we'll add in our onions. Cook that for about 10 minutes or until the onions have softened. Then we'll add in our green peps. Fry that up until the peps are smelling nice and have softened a little bit. Now we'll toss in 2 bags of Southern-style hash browns from Snowpack. You can find those at the link in our description as well. I put them in frozen and cooked until just warmed. We're going to be baking these in a minute anyway, so they'll get cooked soon. Pull that off the heat, then we'll let it cool. In the meantime, we'll chop up our beef bacon into bite-sized pieces. I like to cut mine down the middle, then rotate them and chop them from there. To make it go even faster, I like to stack up 4 to 5 slices on top of each other. This makes prep way faster. Toss the beef bacon and sausage together and mix them up. I like to use my comically oversized mixing bowl for this, but you could mix this together in the Dutch oven. Speaking of, we'll add the veggies to the meat and mix it all up. Now we'll punch up the flavor a bit with 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of sea salt, and 5 medium cloves crushed garlic. Then we'll mix it all up until the seasonings are covering all our hash. Prep a baking sheet with aluminum foil and some nonstick spray, then we'll pour about half of the hash out. The amount you use here is dependent on the size of your pan, but we want to make sure the hash is laid out really thin. I was able to get by with just 2 pans, but you may need a third. We'll bake those at 450 for 30 to 40 minutes or until it's a little crispy. Make sure to mix that up halfway through. In the meantime, we'll whip up some Belgian waffles. We'll start by whisking up 4 egg whites with a whisk attachment. I used a bowl mixer for this, but a hand mixer or good old-fashioned hand whisking will work. Whisk until stiff peaks are forming, then we'll set it aside for a sec. In a large mixing bowl, we'll pour 4 cups of milk. I used skim, but whatever you prefer is fine. Add in 4 yolks, 1 cup of vegetable oil, 3 teaspoons of vanilla or 1 full vanilla bean prepared. Whisk that all up and set it aside. Now we'll combine 4.5 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 6 tablespoons sugar, and 1 teaspoon salt. Give that a good whisking to get everything all mixed up. It's time to wet the dries. Pour our egg mixture into the flour and give that a good whisking. Once the batter is all combined, we'll gently fold in the egg whites. At some point, I had to get a little more vigorous with the folding, but as long as you aren't mashing it, you'll be okay. Get your waffle maker all nice and toasty, then hit it with a little nonstick spray. Cook your batter until it's crisp and browned. Pull those from the waffle maker and keep them warm. Can't have breakfast without eggs. I went with sunny side up for the photos, but practically any type of egg would work for this. After this, you could call this breakfast done if you wanted, but I decided to get a little silly and make some little sandwiches. Lay out a couple of the waffles, top it with a slice of American cheese, top that with our hash, top with 1 of the eggs, and that's it. Serve it up with some maple or blueberry syrup and enjoy. And we'll see you next week with another delicious halal recipe.